Hey folks, it's Jang here from UltimateRC.com and UltimateTraxxas.com, and this is my full review of the Traxxas 1/10 scale Monster Jam Grave Digger. This is a two-wheel drive, ready-to-run electric monster truck. As of the time of this video, it costs about $230 US. This is just one of an entire series of Monster Jam series trucks that they released that just have different bodies on them. This one also has the addition of the green bits for the bumper, also the springs and the chassis braces and skid plates. Here's a better look at the green parts from underneath. But speaking of underneath that body, what you'll see is a Traxxas Stampede two-wheel drive, a truck that was released in 1994, a truck that was my second ever hobby grade RC back in early 2000. Nothing major has changed on the vehicle all this time, though they have made incremental updates to it over time. One of those incremental updates was in 2006 when they switched to a gray plastic. I personally always preferred the black, it just looks better underneath the body, and for all of the Monster Jam trucks they give you the black back. Finally, they also give you these trick adjustable body mounts, which I wish they offered with all the Stampede models. These allow you to adjust the height of your body, and they also adapt to different styles of bodies. So you can see these ones in the rear are really high for the SUV style Gravedigger. This truck is equipped with a brushed motor system, and it has the waterproof XL5 brushed only ESC, and also a waterproof receiver case next to it. And the servo is also a waterproof unit. The motor is standard fare for Traxxas's 1/10 scale brushed vehicles. It's the Titan 12-turn 550 sized can, and it sends its power into a brushless ready all-metal gear transmission with a externally adjustable slipper clutch. It also has all ball bearings inside. The included battery is a 7-cell 3000 mAh nickel metal hydride pack, and also included in the package is a very basic and very slow trickle-style wall charger. The wheels and tires on all the Monster Jam trucks are somewhat realistic looking and also realistic in construction. They have no foams inside, it's just air. For compatibility with the four-wheel drive Stampede, which is a completely different platform, these wheels are extra large on the inner diameter, the side facing the suspension. It's a proprietary size and will only fit these stock tires. Also notice that the wheel hubs have bushings, not bearings. The radio is simple and old, same as the one that came on my first Stampede. It's a 27 MHz AM radio system, and that means you get to experience the joy of a telescoping antenna that's really good for poking people's eyes out. One of these days, these things will be abolished. One of these days. With the included battery, this truck topped out at 22 miles per hour for me. With a 2S LiPo pack, it hit 21. You can gear this thing up to go faster, but with higher gearing, you're not going to be able to run for a long time before you need to cool down the motor. Stock gearing is pretty good for just general running. Now, comparing this to the regular two-wheel drive Stampede, the body and the green bits aren't going to make any difference in performance, but the tires do make a little bit of difference. These actually feel like they have a little bit more traction, not by virtue of their tread pattern, but by being softer. Softer tires can also provide some additional shock absorption. Speaking of which, the shock setup on this vehicle, although it's using the exact same shocks, they are tuned differently than on the standard two-wheel drive Stampede. These green springs feel like they are actually a little bit softer, although I didn't investigate it scientifically, and the shocks seem to have a little bit better dampening, as if the oil is a little bit thicker and they have less friction on their bodies. They're just very smooth. As a result, this Monster Jam truck looks very stable and feels very stable over rough terrain, and the tires and the suspension do their job of soaking up the bumps. They move a lot, but the body of the vehicle doesn't. I'm a big fan of suspension tuning, and I myself probably wouldn't change a thing. Maybe I'd lower it a little bit. Another positive side effect of well-tuned suspension is that the tires spend a lot of time on the ground making contact and making traction. As a result, the Monster Jam truck doesn't change directions unexpectedly very often. The tires themselves could definitely do better on loose terrain, but they're decently matched to the limited power of the motor system. The worst aspect of this vehicle's handling is that it has a lot of understeer on power. It's not as bad as the regular Stampede two-wheel drive, but it's not that great. You'll definitely need to let off the throttle if you want to make tighter turns. So, I've driven the truck on a nice track, and I've driven it on a nice rocky dirt field. Now it's time to drive it through some nice crashes. Yeah, I know, technically this is not the same truck, but technically it kinda is. Let's be honest, the 10th scale two-wheel drive Monster Jam trucks are two-wheel drive Stampedes. All the structural parts are exactly the same, the electronics are the same, the motor is the same. Since I had just thoroughly crash tested the regular two-wheel drive Stampede, I decided I didn't want to unnecessarily destroy that beautiful Monster Jam Gravedigger body, only to get these exact same results. Yes, these trucks will break if you crash them at full speed at an angle into an immovable object. This is a well-known weakness of these suspensions, and it's been around since the beginning. The kingpin, that metal piece right there, is too thin and too soft, and it will bend. And when it bends, the plastic caster block it goes through will break. It's not a fluke, and it's not something that a little tuning can fix. If you drive hard enough or poorly enough, this will happen. And this is one of those rare cases where I'll actually recommend an aluminum upgrade. Probably a dozen companies make these caster blocks in aluminum. So, to sum things up, though this Monster Jam truck is not completely indestructible, it drives well, much better than the regular two-wheel drive Stampede. Price is also similar, so if you like this style of vehicle, I would recommend getting the one that looks best to you. They also have the Monster Mutt, the Grinder, Maximum Destruction, and Captain's Curse. If you come down to a decision between the regular two-wheel drive Stampede and one of the Monster Jam trucks, go for the Monster Jam truck. It handles a little better, and the adjustable body mounts will make it easier for you if you decide later on to change the look again. These Traxxas two-wheel drive monster trucks are not professional racing machines, but they're still great to just have and just drive. They're quintessential RCs. Not too slow, not too fast, easy to operate, rough and tumble. The big tires let you drive on the street or off-road, and if something does break, they're very easy to work on and extremely easy to get parts for. I like these trucks, I always have, and I probably always will. And the Monster Jam versions are the best they've made to date. Thanks for tuning in for this review. If you'd like to see more of the raw driving footage of this truck without any editing and without any music and without me yapping at you, I've got one video from the track and one video from the dirt. You can check those out on my channel, and when you're done, check out the Traxxas Stampede forum at ultimaterc.com. See you there.